Hello and welcome to With Heart. If you're going to take the time to work out, you want to make sure that you are making the very most out of every minute that you're spending during that workout. And there is one way that you can be sure to track your progress and make sure you're getting the most out of every single minute. Personal trainer Scott Browning says it is what?
Heart rate monitor.
Okay, why a heart rate monitor?
Heart rate monitor gives you the most accurate and instantaneous feedback as to how hard you're actually working during mainly your cardiovascular workouts.
Is it hard to figure out because it sounds like it's kind of intimidating?
Not really. Most of the manufacturers will give you some guidelines. You can talk to a trainer or have any kind of metabolic testing helps as well. But for the most part anymore, you can go online and determine where your heart rate zone should be sitting in.
Okay, so this is what a heart rate monitor looks like, right?
Yes, this is the chest strap. Most good quality heart rate monitors will require a chest strap, although some don't. You're better off to make the investment in this. So you strap this around your chest, and then the receiver looks just like a wristwatch.
How do you program it so that it knows what to do, or is there any work involved with that?
Some of them there is a little bit of work involved, and so you'll run through the menus, put in your gender, your age, your weight, and it'll help you to determine what your heart rate zones are. Others are more intuitive in that they'll track your workouts for a bit and then start to adjust your zones accordingly. So it just depends on the model that you get. But for the most part, strap them on, hit start, and you're ready to go.
Okay, so break it down for us. How do you use a heart rate monitor effectively?
The first thing to using a heart rate monitor is to know kind of where your heart rate needs to be. And for most people, moderate exercise, there's age-graded formulas that you can use that will determine what your moderate exercise rates are. And that's usually a pretty good place to start. If you want to be more specific about it, your best bet is to have a metabolic test to determine what your exact heart rate zone should be and where you should be working. And it can get very specific, or it can be very, very basic.
So while you're wearing it and while you're doing your workout, do you want to stay in a certain zone for a certain period of time?
Yes, generally speaking, you want to stay in the high end of an aerobic zone. So that would be a moderately hard exercise intensity. So that's where the majority of people should work out. And generally what I've found is over time, people will stay either way too high and not really reap the benefits of aerobic exercise training, or they won't be working hard enough. And very few people kind of stay in the range that they actually need to be. It's just a great way to monitor your actual energy levels.
Because you can think you're doing one thing when in actuality you're doing something else.
Exactly, particularly when it applies to sports like running or triathlon or multi-sport activities where you think that you might be training the right way, and in fact you're really not, and you're not going to get near the benefit that you would get if you were to train properly.
So you think it's definitely worth an investment to get a good heart rate monitor and incorporate it into your daily workouts?
I think it's essential. I mean, if you're going to get the most out of your aerobic workouts in particular, having a heart rate monitor is key to maximizing that benefit. And you don't have to spend a ton of money. I mean, there are good monitors out there for less than $100.
Perfect. Well, for Scott's recommendation for a heart rate monitor and also a little bit more information, head over to withheart.com.